Johnny, what are you thinking here?
So for the final day of our trip to Belfast, we played Templepatrick Golf Club on the Kingfisher estate. This is a championship 18-hole parkland golf course just 12 minutes from Belfast city centre. It's designed by former European Tour players David Jones and David Feherty, who grew up famously just around the corner in Belfast himself. The Kingfisher country estate was a lovely way to finish our trip. You can see very recently that they had put millions into the golf course and into the overall hotel, so the atmosphere in the area was really nice, really relaxing, and considering we'd come to the end of our trip, we were pretty tired, so the facilities and service that we got and the course was all very relaxed and fun without being too punishing a golf course.
Belfast, because of the vibrancy now that has come from the end of the Troubles, I mean, we've moved on an awful lot. And with that, you have the opening of bars, restaurants, so it's become a real cosmopolitan city.
Also price-wise, I think it would maybe be on the lower end of a lot of cities in the UK. It's like, you can play some really good golf courses for not that expensive, which is important if people are already spending a lot of money traveling to the Open and all that stuff.
Even though we're in a kind of a troubled time with the credit crunch going on, there's still shops, there's a lot of variety being available for people. And with that, with the help of obviously Tourism NI, facilities available for families that you can see starting to grow. Obviously Titanic is a big draw. SSE, recently one of our members here opened up a brand new distillery in Crumlin Road Jail. So it's been converted now to a tourist destination. Here we're only 15 minutes from Belfast city centre. So location-wise, kind of an attractive property away from city centre, so nice walks around the golf course. But all in all, in Belfast in itself, you can just kind of see it like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's starting to reinvent itself and get back to where we were many years ago. It started its life, it was opened up 1st of June 1999. The only David Jones and David Feherty co-designed golf course in the country.
It's really good. It's better than I remember it. The greens were very good surfaces to putt on. Obviously we got lucky with the weather, which you always need a bit of luck in this country, as we know. But yeah, it was great. Nice to play. Enjoyable round. Some nice birdie chances. Nice mix of some very tough par fours. So yeah, it's good.
Chris, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
For people that don't know you, who are you? Where are you from?
Chris Selfridge. I'm from South Derry, Royal Portrush Golf Club. So about just over half an hour from here.
You're a professional tour caddy. You're currently jumping between PGA Tour and DP Tour with Matty Schmidt. How's my life with Matty?
Yeah, it's great. Matty's a great lad. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. It's nice to have a wee bit of a summer break at the minute and play a bit of golf. But yeah, it's good. Can't complain. Living the dream.
Living the dream, exactly. Yeah. And importantly, how's your own game?
I mean, it's not great, but I sort of had a moment over the winter time where I love golf, golf's my life, and to get worse 7 or 8 years in a row while you're in your late 20s, early 30s is just not really, it's not what you want to do. So I'm enjoying it, playing a little bit better. So.
Well, you've been so far so good. We're one hole in, so
yeah,
we'll continue that trend.
Yeah, sounds good.
Today for our final round, we're joined by Chris Selfridge, who's a professional tour caddy. Chris is a lovely guy and a really good player. On top of this, he's a very well-known tour caddy. From an Irish perspective, he used to be on the bag for Tom McKibben, but now he's working with Matty Schmidt as they split their time between the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour.
Yeah, good speed.
Tell you what, that was some par. That was great up and down. What's the biggest caddy no-no? So for guys like new guys coming out on tour, on the bag, what's one thing that you're like, listen mate, don't do that?
Like a caddy mistake? This is one. So if you're, say you're in the bunker or something, greenside, typical par 5, and your man splashes it out to whatever, 10, 12 feet or something. So as long as the other caddies in the group have time, you'd expect one of the caddies to clean your man's ball. It's kind of like an unwritten rule among caddies.
You'll do it for the other guys.
Yeah, because you're raking the bunker, and then he's starting his routine, and by the time you get over there with the towel and start messing about, you could waste 20 seconds whenever it gives him a chance to do. So you would expect other caddies in the group to do that. And whenever you're out with maybe someone who's new to caddying or just, maybe someone who's like club pro or their mate or something, maybe just wouldn't understand that sort of unwritten rule. So that can be a little frustrating at times whenever it's like, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I need to go run over and clean this, and then go back and rake the bunker, and then you might be in the through line of the putt, and then all of a sudden you're messing about something shocking, and you can end up losing a minute, you know, on your pace of play, and they're pretty strict with pace of play. Like, well, you always try to get better and always try to learn. It does come with experience. You know, some of the things we spoke about on the golf course today, like reading the lies out of the rough. It's like, how do you teach that to a non-golfer? You know, it's not. I don't think it's even teachable. It just comes from experience. But you know, as I said, it's a very simple job with a lot of very simple tasks, and reading the human and understanding how to talk, and it is a job best kept simple and just do it well. But obviously I love it, and yeah, experience does play a part, and you start to learn things, but yeah, it's complex to explain, you know. I mean, caddying's incredibly simple. There's just like a lot of simple things you have to do well.
Sure.
Like looking at the golf course, landing spots and stuff, you gotta stay calm, you got to be able to think well under pressure, you got to think of different wind directions, different lines and dog legs, you know, like your center points there at 260 and 280 and slopes and fairways. But it is a very simple job, and a lot of very simple things. Like you've maybe 50 little simple things, but a lot of them just come human nature to caddies, you know. But like whenever you're explaining it to people, you know, one of my mates at the club's asking, you know, what do you do at the bar or whatever, and you're like, well, yeah, you do this, and it seems so complex, but a lot of it does come simple to us. It's yeah, it's just try and keep it simple and do a good job. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, well, let's make this all nice and simple.
The course itself has undergone serious renovations. A considerable amount of money has been invested into the golf course as well as to the hotel. The main characteristics of the design have been maintained though, which is great. It's a very flat piece of land, so there aren't significant elevation changes throughout your 18 holes, which makes it a very easy walk and a lot of fun. Starting from the tee box, the fairways aren't too narrow. Most of the holes are tree lined, but they're forgiving enough. If you're going to miss the fairway, like most tree lined parkland courses, miss big, and more often than not you're going to be on an adjoining hole's fairway. The greens are very, very big. Mostly they're surrounded by and protected by bunkers. But just because you hit a green in regulation does not mean you're going to have an 8-footer for birdie. Because these greens are very big, you could easily have a 20-30 foot putt from one tier onto another, and you could be made look pretty silly pretty easily. If you and your mates are coming to Belfast to play some golf, I would definitely say go check out Templepatrick Golf Club, because it's probably a little underrated, to be honest with you.
Very much so. Tee shots are vital here. The fairways they're quite generous. We get an awful lot of complaints about the height of the rough, but at the end of the day, some of the rough is like 50, 60 yards off to the right or left. So I think maybe the driving range is a place where people should be visiting as opposed to the golf course for that. David didn't jeopardize on the size of the greens complex. The greens are absolutely massive and most clubs would have probably half the size. And he just said he wanted to keep the green complexes the same size. So even finding the green with your second shot, it's not a given that you're going to walk off with par. That's one of the nuances of the golf course that members get to know over a certain time. Visitors struggle with it, but each time they come back, they just learn a little bit more. But I think for people that haven't been here for a couple of years, they will be really taken back by the changes that have been made in a short space of time that Lockview Leisure have had their hands on the property. The aim of the proprietor was to say that he wanted to lift the profile of the hotel and the golf course to a point where this is a #1 destination for leisure traffic, for golf traffic, for couples, for families, for individuals.
That's what golf's all about. At the end of the day, it's social. You know, you want to play with your mates. Of course, we want to play well and make birdies and win competitions, but you do it for the social element of it. So that's the stage I'm at now, and I love it.
Oh, look. Thank you very much,
Man,
sir.
very enjoyable.
That was good fun.
It was.
Good fun week.
Very good fun week, yeah.
Overall, Belfast is a great location for going on a golf trip. It may not be as well known as your Careys, your Clares, your Donegals, but there is some great golf on offer here. There's some good variety as well. If you can travel down the road to play some links courses, there's Ardglass, there's Royal County Down, or if you want to head north, obviously it's a good base for playing Royal Portrush, Port Stewart, Castle Rock, those kind of courses as well. So overall, if you're looking to go play some golf with your mates over the weekend, or if you're heading to the Open Championship, Belfast is a really good location to base yourself out of. From the golf to the nightlife to just getting around in general, it's a super spot. Well worth your time.